All right, I'm back. It is, I think this is my 4th clip. And what we're going to do, because this weather is getting pretty frank, we're just going to go over in the cemetery. We're going to take a quick look around there, see if anything weird happens, and might hit the boardwalk and might not. But it's cold. It's very cold. At least to me it is. It's saying 50 something, but it feels colder than that. Not really sure. Don't really care right now. I mean, it's not nothing where I'm in danger or anything like that. So like I say, I didn't want to you know, I was way back over that way in the WMA, but I'm not going to hike that trail because there's hunters in the vicinity. They're not hunting over there. They're hunting back over this way. But here at the cemetery and the park, you know, you don't have to worry about that. Now you get on that boardwalk, and especially when you get down toward the end, back over toward the lakes and stuff, yeah buddy, it sounds like a war zone going on over there. Well, look at here. Ain't this something? The water's down. It's gone. That's very interesting. Most interesting. And there we go, almost on cue. Right down at the base of my spine, it starts feeling weird. I mean, you can't say that it's not a little creepy out here right now. But we're gonna walk down this way. Man, I wasn't counting on this. The last time I was out here, I guess they've mowed or something. You can see tracks here. But the last time I was out here, the water was out to here. I mean, it was way out. And what do we got here? Dead turtle. Not sure what happened to him. Doesn't look like nothing violent. But yeah, it feels kind of weird. This looks creepier and creepier the more I come out here. Again, you know, I was like right up on that little ridge right there. I mean, just, I don't know, what is that? A couple of 100 yards, if that. When that dog thing come running out and came right in behind here. That's one for the record books I won't never forget. Yeah, I was closer really than I thought I was. When you look at where I was from, say, you know, the viewpoint of a GoPro or a camcorder, which you can focus a camcorder in and out pretty well. The GoPro, I just leave it, you know, static. I don't fool with zooming in and zooming out and all that. But I mean, again, when you're here, when I'm standing in the spot where that thing run out, which was right up in here, and it come in right there, you know, headed up that toward the cemetery, and I'm standing right here, that is not that far away. Not as far as like in relation to where I was and where it was. And the fact, you know, the incredible thing is, the fact is how big this thing was with me standing right there on that little, you know, that little rise right there. I mean, you can see the path coming down to what we call the oh, what do you call it? The kayak pudding, you know, the kayak ramp's what I call it. So again, this looks extremely far away. But if you look at that path, and I'm just right above that path looking this way, or, you know, kind of half tail looking this way, when this thing come out, and I'm down here now, I'm 5'7". And to see that thing go across there the way it did, it was huge. I mean, that thing was big. I was initially saying, and I probably would still stick with that, I was saying that this thing come up, the back of it come up to my chest, my upper chest. And I would still maintain that. Jet black. dog looking head, back legs, dog looking, black hair, fur, whatever you want to call it. I don't remember a tail, but that thing was huge now. I mean, the back of that thing, absolutely, you know, I've never looked at it from this angle, from this perspective before. And that just goes to show how it's telling me how big this thing was, how tall the back of this thing was, because it was on all fours. And when it come out from up in here and headed up that way, there was a deer that was probably, I'm gonna rough guess it, up in the cemetery, probably, you know, where the big tree is on the little ledge there, the edge. It was up in there, and when this thing come out and headed that way, it come out hauling tail, heading back over that way, back up into the swamp. So that thing was big. I mean, standing here now seeing and thinking about the perspective of you know, where I am and where it was and the size and all, that thing was big. It was every bit as high as my chest. I mean, no question. Absolutely no question. So that kind of takes care of the Dogman part here, but that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Wow. And like I say, it headed right up in there. So I'm really glad I came out here today. It gave me a whole new viewpoint of just how close I was. In my mind, I'm looking at the footage when I document. I mean, I don't have the Dogman on film or anything like that, but you know, when I saw it and I broke my camera out, like I say, I was right there on that edge, right there on the edge, right there above the path, and I did not realize just how close I was. Again, I'm gonna say 150, 200 yards, at least 100 yards. Give or take. So, and like I say, that thing went right up in there, headed right up in there. And when it headed up in there, that's when the deer caught my attention, and I never saw where the dog thing went. I never saw what happened to it. I can only assume that it went on up into the cemetery and probably crossed on over. That's speculation on my part. But I mean, that's wild. So, and just to back up real quick, because I would like to do a little video of this for the NADP. I was out here months back, and again, I was fixing to head up in toward the boardwalk, and I just happened to come out to the edge and was looking at this, you know, I don't know, well, I wasn't really looking for anything, to be honest, but I stopped right there on the corner, and I just happened to glance out this way, and I saw something big, huge, and black up in here, and it come out. It come, you know, it was almost gliding. It was so graceful. It come out from up in here and headed right up in here. And when it got in behind this debris pile, when it got up in I'd say right behind the debris pile, heading that way, a deer, a doe that was up in the cemetery, come hauling tail out and headed up into the swamp. This thing come out of the swamp up that way, deer's up in there, it comes hauling out, going back up into the swamp. Now, I don't know if this thing was after the deer or whether it was just, you know, just making a break and didn't really realize I was up there or whatever, or didn't care. I don't know. But it headed up that way, and when the deer come out again, I lost track of it. Because I was looking at the deer. I didn't know what was fixing to happen with the deer. And it's very obvious to me that I saw something. It was huge. It was jet black. It was canine. The back legs were canine. I didn't see the front. I mean, I was so focused on the head and the back legs and the main body of it, and the fact that it was moving so smooth. It was so graceful. You know, it wasn't loping along like a bear would or anything like that. This thing was just, man, it was pure grace. I mean, it was just fluid. And like I say, the deer come out and she shagged tail up into the swamp, heading over, kind of angling toward the kayak ground. So again, I did not realize until this moment how close I really was. I was pretty darn close. It's not that far away. Again, the lens on this is making it look far, but that was close. And my goodness, I mean, if you know, like right now, I'm not saying anything has, but if you wanted to, if you were a Bigfoot or a Dogman or whatever, you could kind of get up over in here and you know, you'd have a really nice viewpoint of everything that's going on. Okay, well look, I'm gonna pause this. I think this actually will turn out to be, I mean, it's interesting to me. I mean, because I was here, you know, this happened to me. So, anywho, that's my Dogman encounter, and I'm just glad I was up there. That's all I can say. I darn sure wouldn't have wanted to have been down any closer, because if it was going for the deer, or it just wanted to scare the deer or something, you know, it might have changed tack and headed for me. But and you know, at the time when I saw this thing, I think I was just in teetotal 100% denial on what I saw. And it took months later for me to talk to someone who has a Dogman podcast. I mean, we weren't doing an interview or anything like that. We were just talking. And it took me talking to this person to realize what I had seen and what I had encountered. So wow. But this is a creepy spot, creepy place. Sky Lake, Mississippi, out near Belzona. Black Panthers, Sasquatch, UFOs. I haven't seen the Black Panther, but I've talked to two people who have. One was a neighbor who I interviewed, me and my buddy, and then M.K. Davis saw a Black Panther out here. So this place is it's high strangeness. That's the best way to say it. Okay, so I'm gonna shut this off, and I'll cut it back on and do some more recording. But we'll just say this part, and I may have jumped in. You know, you may see an edit. You know, but we're gonna say this is for the North American Dogman Project Mississippi chapter, because that's where this happened at. I'll put it up and we'll roll on. So anyway, this is Marcus with the North American Dogman Project Mississippi, signing out, and we'll cut the camera back on if anything else happens.